Hi there, Linda Nenne here from Embodiment for Sensitive People. So I asked on my Instagram account last week about what topic you want to hear about next, and the winner was embodiment, the pros and cons on embodiment for sensitive people. If you want to join the conversation on Instagram, you can find me there at Linda Nenne, just one word, Linda Nenne. Okay, so I wrote, I think it was a few months ago, that embodiment is not only about being in the body. Embodiment is also about being intimate with the world. And when it comes to a lot of embodiment practices of really sinking into the lived experience of the body, what might happen if, especially if we are sensitive, is that what we meet is a lot of sensations and emotions in the body. And the more we practice and befriend these internal experiences, what used to be maybe overwhelming can start to become these amazing sort of pockets of movement and experience to sink into. And this can be one of the sort of, I don't know, like the pitfalls of embodiment for when we're sensitive, is that we can start to use our body as a hiding place. And I speak about this from my own experience. I remember when it was in 2013 that I first was introduced to embodiment experiences. And for a lot of years after that, I got almost obsessed with just always sensing and being with and just sort of bathing in my own internal experiences of having this wonderful alive body. And I can still notice in myself that I sometimes want to just retreat into my own internal landscape and sort of dissociate from the world around me. But embodiment is not just about being aware of and being with the internal experience. It's also about being in the world. So if we sort of only look at or practice embodiment as being in the body, it might actually take us further away from embodiment, which is about also being intimate with the world. And I actually remember the exact moment when there was a sort of a shift happening in me, where I had an embodied realization that embodiment is more than just being in the body. And that was when I was assisting a training. I was assisting an embodied flow training, so I was assisting my teacher, Tara Judell. We were in Germany, and in a room full of people, and we were moving, and I really started to notice myself wanting to I just want to be in my own experience. That's all I want. I just want to move around and close my eyes and just sense my own aliveness. And I don't know, it was a sound or something that happened. I can't quite remember exactly what it was, but I was in there, like in this really deep, juicy internal experience, and I opened my eyes, and there was this, oh my God, there is a real and juicy aliveness in the world around me. So I can be both aware of my own internal landscape and what is happening, and simultaneously move with and engage with the world. And that was sort of an embodied understanding of embodiment. Ah, okay. It's more than just being in the body. It's being in the world. Um, and I think that is one of the pitfalls that we as sensitives, since we have a lot of internal movements and aliveness happening, to not get lost in the what is happening here, but also be in the world. And of course, a sort of, I said it was like the pros and cons of embodiment for sensitives. One of the pros is that as we, if we start to practice in this way, that it's being both in the body, experiencing what is happening here, and being in really deep and intimate and close relationship with the environment that I'm in, can offer a sort of a fluidity between in the responses to what is happening in my environment. Because it can also be that when you're sensitive, you might find that you become easily overwhelmed by your own internal experiences. So not everyone has that, oh, I want to retreat into the body. I want to, maybe instead you want to dissociate and just retreat out of the body and be in the outside world. But having that sort of both internal, external awareness happening at the same time can support you to experience your all those things that are happening in your body, and simultaneously sort of anchor yourself in this bigger world around you. Maybe that could be by finding something in your environment that feels safe or that feels alive or stable, that you can, I can be with that. I can sort of anchor myself in something external while I'm processing and metabolizing and being with the internal experience. So, in that way, embodiment, if we look at it as my suggestion is that it's not just about the body, but it's the body and the world. Then embodiment practices can really support you to, okay, it's not just what's happening here. There is more to me. I can also anchor myself and steady and ground myself in the external world without having to lose myself. So I think that to sum it up, if we look at embodiment simply being in the body, I think that becomes a pitfall, especially for those of us that are really sensitive, because we completely lose ourselves in and just go in and stay there, or get overwhelmed by what is happening here and want to leave the body. But if we realize, okay, embodiment is both the internal and the external, then we can sort of pendulate between, or even be in both experiences at the same time. So I hope that was gave you something to maybe play with or ponder on. And if you want more sort of practical practical practices, if you want practices, I am starting now to record just very short, simple, both sound and movement and just beingness practices that I will share with my community on my via my email list or my newsletter. So if you feel okay, I find this really interesting, but how do I translate this into actual practices? Then you can sign up. There's a in the text below. I'll put there's a I have a free 4-part miniseries, the One Taste, that you can sign up for. And when you sign up for that, you also end up on my email list, and I will send you simple, short practices that you can use in your everyday life to embody your sensitivity, embody being the unique and just beautiful, amazing human being that you are. Relationship to yourself, to other people, and to your environment. All right, so that was it for today. Much love.